Tonight, at the table, is a man who's turned talking sports into an art form. He's a longtime figure in the industry, now leading mornings on 97.5 The Fanatic, with years behind the mic covering everything from championships to total heartbreak. He's built a reputation on credibility, consistency, and saying what a lot of fans are already thinking. I'm excited for this one. Please welcome my friend, John Kincade.
Yeah.
John, thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
It's very, very exciting. Longtime fan.
Exciting for you. And a little nervous for me. I got to be honest with you. I told you before.
You're the subject.
Yeah, I'm not used to being the one not asking the questions. So this is like you get to be Regis Philbin. Who wants to be a millionaire? I do.
I'll take that all day.
Okay, well we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I was gonna say I'm used to sitting in your booths though.
Yeah.
So as a big fan of Market Street Grill and a big fan of living here right outside the borough, I said it's always a blast when I come in here. So this is a change of pace, not usually having this more intimate setting.
I love it.
So this is interesting.
You for being here. Well, first things first, I just wanted to get started. Tell me a little bit about yourself for anyone watching who might not know you.
I grew up in Broomall, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So I'm a Delco kid. Mm-hmm. And much like most of my graduating class from Cardinal O'Hara High School and St. Anastasia's in Newtown Square, I think half of us migrated out here to Chester County. I think most of us got across the border and got out here to Chester County.
Absolutely.
And it brought a lot of Delco pride out to Chester County. So I did that. I was out here for many years until I left for Atlanta to chase business dreams, career goals, and I thought I'd go to Atlanta for a few years. I stayed for 26 until I came back in 2021, and it has been just the greatest joy to get to come home and to get to do what I do for a living in my hometown towards the end of my career, because I really thought, look, breaking into sports radio and media and everything in Philadelphia is a lot harder. And so you get to go and do it in a city like Atlanta was amazing. But I really thought, I'll stay in Atlanta and I'll do it 2 years, 3 years, and then I'll come home. And every opportunity I had to come home, I had an agent. And he's a guy named Norm Schrott. God rest his soul. Norm was known as the radio rabbi. So if anybody ever wanted to anyone ever wanted to Google him, Norm was the radio rabbi. He was the former president of ABC Radio. And they forced him out at 66 years old. And he became an agent. And he handpicked a bunch of clients to represent them and to then go up against the people in media that he used to work for as an agent. And he chose me as one of his clients. And his thing was, shut up and go to work. That was his slogan. So he treated you as if you were one of his kids. And he would just tell me, John, shut up and go to work. I'll handle your business. And every time Philly would play footsie about, you want to come home? He would send me something that he would photograph. He would make it, literally go to a copy machine and make a photocopy of something and mail it to me. And it would say, David Caruso leaves NYPD Blue. So he'd find old references, because he was old. McLean Stevenson leaves MASH. He would try to find these old references of stars who left television shows way early, and then the show went on to great success after they left and they failed. And he would just try to say to me, why are you leaving? What are you doing that for? And everybody knows Howard Eskin here in town. And I would run into Howard Eskin. I had interned under Howard. And I'd run into him at the Super Bowls and things like that. And he would know that Philly would call. And he'd say, why do you want to come home? And I said, Howard, I always wanted to be like you. I always wanted to have a job like you in Philly. And he goes, to the kids growing up in Atlanta, you're me to them.
Wow.
You already are. And I got to be there for 26 years and got to do a show for almost 21, which was incredible. And but to come home has been a real blessing. It's been a lot of fun, and I love it here, and I love it. I've gotten to reconnect with family and lifelong friends, so it's been great. But St. Annie's, O'Hara, Temple, long-winded answer, and so Philly through and through.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back.
I'm good to be. Good to be back.
Did you grow up such a big sports guy, going to games with your family?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was that experience like?
Well, we didn't get to go to a ton of games. We were more of a watch them on TV type of games. I remember my Uncle Yummy.
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 Okay.
My Uncle Yummy. There are reasons that your uncles have code names.
Uh-huh.
You can only suspect why that might be. But my Uncle James was Uncle Yummy. And I bet you some people who may even see this may even know Yummy. And I had Uncle Yummy, I had Uncle Wimple.
Come on.
Yes. My uncles had code names. Come on.
All right.
Think of why they may have had code names and think about football games and things like that and things that happen during football games that you could do now on your phone with an app.
Okay.
Maybe they did some of those things.
Oh, I see.
And so they had code names, so when you called them on the phone, you didn't use their names. So that was part of that. So there was the Italian American Club over in Ardmore. And that was where I guess they would hang out and have their fun. They would do things. So they would always run bus trips. So that was usually like the bus trip every year from the Italian American Club to go down to the Phillies. I remember that. I come from a big extended family, like a lot of Kincades. There's a lot of Kincades all over Havertown, all over Delco, all over everywhere. So anywhere I went, somebody knew somebody from my family. Knew one of my uncles, knew one of my cousins. And so it was one of those things where sports was just part of it. And I love it. Like sports always meant Sunday morning mass at St. Annie's, going to Broomall Cold Cuts on Westchester Pike afterwards, getting fresh rolls, fresh cold cuts, watching the Eagles, getting my dad's Ortlieb's beer out of the lower refrigerator downstairs for him. And he was a mailman in Drexel Hill and then delivered the Philadelphia Bulletin in the afternoon. So we were just a Philly family.
Right.
And sports was like, it's weird is that my dad died when I was very young. And sports was something that we connected over. And we didn't connect over a lot. Like it was one of those things, like my dad is a beast. He was a Lower Merion grad, Second World War, prisoner of war, fought, shot down in a plane, all those kind of things, right after his high school graduation. I went to senior week in Wildwood. He went in the Second World War. The man had brass balls. I went to senior week. We led a much different life, but we didn't bond over a lot. But sports was always the language we had.
Yeah,
that was something that we could communicate on. It was something where we could always get along, and sports was that. And I know that if my dad had ever been alive with me doing my job, he would have been a caller. He would have called me the minute I got off the air. And all of my uncles would have too, and they would have called me and told me everything that I was wrong about. I would have had to do a second show every day after the show.
Yeah, the corrections.
Yes, and they would have all been saying, "You hear what he said in the air today? I was wrong about that." And it would have been, so it's one of those things where sports was the currency in our family for the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked that because that's totally relatable. I've grown up going to sporting events with my dad, my younger brother. That was a huge thing that we bonded over,
And you still do.
Moment. Absolutely. Huge moments in our lives. Traveling, going to different cities, follow the birds, the Phillies. Is really nothing like it.
And when you talk about, I remember you talking about the memories, and we talked about it like after the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. And even when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl in Arizona and talking about that, and you and your brother and things like that. Those memories stick. Those memories are huge, and to just have them, they are embedded. And I laughed is because my daughter, and Liv, and she's 22 and graduated Temple last May, and every day of her life, and this is the crazy thing, is how weird the sports is in our family. From the time she was born in Atlanta, there was going to be one thing she did not have an option to do, and that was to be an Eagles fan. It was the Eagles fan was it. And from the time she was born, we would say prayers at night. And I would say to my daughter at night, whisper in her ear as a baby, and then say it to her as a little kid. Dream of your daddy, your puppy dogs, and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I said it to her every night of her life. And when she was 6, 7, 8, I just kept the tradition alive, and we said it together. and gets choked up. When the Eagles, I was hosting the Super Bowl party at the Bellagio. When the Eagles won Super Bowl 52, I get choked up thinking about it. And the minute that ball hit the ground, seemed like 10 seconds later, and I'm so overwhelmed that I'm there with a bunch of people I don't even know, and they're all at the party. They all knew I was there as an Eagles fan hosting the party. And they're like, oh my gosh, and everything. And I see the calls from Christina and Olivia, and I go, and it's FaceTiming. And there's my girls on the phone, and they're both wailing, crying. And my daughter's like, Daddy, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They won the Super Bowl. And all I could say was, and you're 14, and you're only 14.
Right.
She only had to wait till she was 14. I had to wait till I was 52 years old to see it. And all I could think of was, she's 14 years old and she saw it.
Yeah.
And then she saw another. First year she was alive, they were in the Super Bowl. She saw a Super Bowl at 14. Then she sees another one. Then she saw another one. She got to the parade for this one.
Yes.
It's these kids now, they're spoiled rotten. They're spoiled rotten. They spoiled you and your generation.
Yeah.
You're spoiled rotten. You didn't live through enough. You don't have the scars that I have. It's amazing. But I tell you, it's what brings community together.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great. I get choked up. I swear I get choked up. It's like
That's
crazy.
amazing.
You get choked
Answer
up.
prayers.
What are you, Oprah? You got me
I guess-
crying. You got me crying here in the booth. It's
knew?
all the birds though. The birds can get me crying. Phillies can't, but the birds can get me crying.
Phillies will get us crying in a
Yeah,
different way.
Yeah. You got like 3 weeks till they got us crying. That's really good.
When did that passion that you grew up with, watching games and this, when did that turn into something that you thought you could pursue as a career?
Well, it probably goes back to the nuns at St. Annie's.
Of course.
Who would just say, and my classmates can attest to this, that Sister Mary of Fatima, God rest her soul, she would say every day in 7th grade, Mr. Kincade, no one is going to pay you to talk.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And I
Challenge accepted.
look, sister, I'm sure God's forgiven you for that wrong. But somebody pays me to talk. I found it was just, I found something that you can do. And to think that you can do something you love, and people always say it all the time, it's a big cliche. People say it all the time, oh, find something you love and you do it and you never work a day in your life. What I do is work, but it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And it's always good, too, because it's always a great excuse because you can always say to your wife, honey, I'd love to watch that Lifetime movie with you, but we have to watch the Sixers.
It's work.
It's work. It's work. That Phillies game, honey, no one's going to ask me about that story you want to tell me. That story you want to tell me, that's going to have to wait because no one's going to ask me about that in the show tomorrow. But Bryce Harper's at bat. It's much more important. But we'll get to that tomorrow, I promise. Oh, wait, there's another Phillies game tomorrow. I'm sorry. We'll get to it, though. Write it down. Send me an email.
This guy's on to something.
It's the greatest cover. It's the greatest cover story ever. I'm just telling
awesome.
you. It's a great cover story. But
What was the nun's name?
Sister Mary of Fatima.
All right, shout out
Sister
Mary.
Well, she's hearing you from upstairs.
Absolutely.
She was old when she taught me.
Okay.
Look at the gray hair. Yeah,
Right.
there's no way she's listening to this.
Yeah.
There's no way she's downloading anything and seeing
Right.
this. I don't think. I'm guessing.
So you took the challenge.
Sure.
How did you break into the industry? It's such a competitive field to get into. What was your big break?
I think it's the fact that I found, well, first off, I'm not somebody who takes no for an answer. Mm-hmm. And so I'm somebody who's going to be, you're going to find it very hard to believe, but I'm somebody who just I tend to be a little aggressive. So I found my way to be, I have interned, I got the trifecta, interning for Howard Eskin, interning for Angelo Cataldi, interning for some of the greatest in Philadelphia sports, Tony Bruno, and to have a guy like Tony Bruno, when I moved to Atlanta, there was a sports radio station in Atlanta. There was a guy named Mike Thompson who was running the station there, who was also a Philly guy. And to have Tony Bruno pick up the phone call and go, hire Kincade to do a weekend show for you. Let him do a weekend show to show you what he can do. You get Tony Bruno, a legend in the industry, calling on your behalf. You got, and Angelo will give him recommendation and everything. But you got to hustle. I would intern before I went to work in the morning at SMS over in Malvern, Shared Medical Systems over in Malvern, when you're trying to break into the industry. And I would go and intern in the morning dressed in a suit, and Angelo Cataldi would give me grief and go, "What are you all dressed up for today? What's that?" I got a business meeting after this. And he'd go, "Really? How expensive is that suit?" And I go,
the wrap.
"Oh, look at that."
Thank you. Little custom thing.
Yeah, I went
Mr.
custom.
Kincade, thank you.
I went custom. I went the grilled chicken with the tomato and lettuce with a little Russian dressing.
That's something you don't see every day here, and I love it.
See, it's just
Let's
a little
do it.
different there, which is great. What'd you do?
This is stuffed French toast with strawberries, bananas, cream cheese. She hooked it up.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
Well, there's nothing bad here, so I mean,
right.
just go for it.
Thank you. So to break in, you got a lot of help from some legends. Tony Bruno,
Absolutely.
Angelo Cataldi.
The guys, Howard Eskin, the greatest.
Yeah.
They're all great. They all looked out for me. And they all challenged me, too. They all gave me opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of them gave me opportunities, too, by putting me on the air, too. Like, giving me opportunities to do some stuff on the air.
Yeah, they believed in you.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, too, is that, is a lot of people now go, well, you can't, you should be paid for an internship. I'm not going to intern for free. I'm not going to work for free. If I had every hour back in my life that I worked for free to get where I got,
Yeah.
look, it's something you got to be willing to do. Mm-hmm. It paid off. Mm-hmm. It paid off, and it's great experience if you can do it. But not enough. I can tell you, not enough kids today are willing to do it.
Yeah, I did it. I worked.
It's
for
incredible.
free.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Gotta get
You got to do it.
experience.
And to do it though for the legends like that, I was blessed. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You're doing that. Got to do my first shift at WIP on Christmas Eve because nobody wanted to work.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted to work.
Yeah.
So Christmas Eve was my first shift. Christmas Eve of '92 was my first shift I ever did in the radio, and I'll never forget it. And just the anxiousness, the excitement, oh my gosh, this is happening. And I just always knew that it was something that I could do, and I just needed that opportunity.
Right.
And, and so it was just, it's like, okay. John was going to be talking anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Right.
Might as well get paid for it.
So I imagine working in the industry for so long that you've gotten to travel to a lot of cool places to see some sports games. I was totally curious. Where's your favorite place outside of Philly that you've got to experience a game?
No questions asked. It's a slam dunk that the best place I've ever been to experience something in my career. Super Bowl, the best Super Bowl venue. In fact, if they told me the Super Bowl was going to be here every year, it'd be here. Do you know what the place is?
No.
New Orleans. New Orleans is the best Super Bowl venue. It should always be there. How about this? Put the Super Bowl in New Orleans every third year.
Yeah.
It is the best Super Bowl venue. Every Eagles fan that made the trip to New Orleans last year to see it a year ago, you know it. Mm-hmm. It's awesome because of the fact is, and not to sound like one of those whiny media members, but like this year, my friends who went to San Francisco, we did not go. But if you go to San Francisco to cover the Super Bowl, you're staying in San Francisco. They have the media night where you go meet the players. It was an hour and 30 minutes away. You could have gone from Westchester to Baltimore.
Right. Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. In New Orleans, I got to New Orleans, took an Uber from the airport. Salchunas and I go from the airport in an Uber, get out of the Uber, and I unpack, and I'm there for the week. I'm there.
Yeah.
I walked everywhere.
Yeah.
Walked every single place. And quite a few bars, restaurants, the best restaurants.
Yeah, it was tasty.
GW Finn's, which, by the way, is the best place if you ever go back.
Okay.
GW Finn's is my favorite restaurant outside of Philadelphia, and it's best seafood. It's a seafood place there in the quarter, and it's the best venue because I think the fans can just you Uber to your place, and you just walk around.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's the coolest thing. I've covered, I think 14 Super Bowls in my life, which is great. I have all the flags down in the Kincade. My man cave is the Kincade in our house. And my wife even got the custom signage for it. I think I covered 10 Masters when I was down in Atlanta. And covering the Masters would be a very close second.
Right.
There's nothing like Augusta National if you're a dork like me and you love golf. You're not very good at it, but you love it.
Right. And
to walk Augusta National, there's something about it. There's something about just walking around that place, and it's magical. It's religious. It's everything that you think it's going to be. And I say to everybody out there, everybody watching, everybody listening, that you've probably been told you can't go to the Masters unless you win the tickets in the lottery. That is false. It's false. If you're willing to pay, you can go. Now you have to go through these what they call these hospitality houses. And we would broadcast from one all these years that I would cover the Masters. And we'd go and broadcast our show down there. But you can go and you can pay and you can go down there and you can go in the morning to a place where they'll cook you beautiful breakfast plates and everything like this. Open bar, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Take in a golf cart up to the front gates of Augusta National, walk in. You go hit the biggest pro shop you've ever seen in your life. You can ship your stuff home if you want, or you can have it brought back. You can bring it back with you to the hospitality house. They'll take you walk around the course. You can go back, take the golf cart back, go back and have lunch. They'll take you back up to the gates, go back in. It's an awesome experience. And you can do this for a badge for like a day, or if you wanted to do 2 days. And so if anybody wants to reach out via social media, you can always reach out. And I can tell you how you can go to the Masters. Now, again, it's going to be a little pricey, but if you're talking about a father-son event, if you're somebody who wanted to do something for your dad who's a big golf fan, or something like a present for somebody's, what are you going to do for dad's 70th birthday or something? Talk about, you'll blow him away. And I'm telling you, you can do this. And the amount of people that go, I didn't know you could do that. And then I've told them to do it. They get the tickets and they go, that was the greatest. It's like the greatest day of our lives. And fathers and sons, it's unbelievable. And if it's father-daughter, I don't want to be sexist either. If it's father-daughter, if you share golf, it's unbelievable.
Right.
So they would be the two things: Super Bowl in New Orleans and Augusta National.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I was able to make that Super Bowl last year in New Orleans. It was an awesome time, and boy, there was a lot of Birds fans down there.
Yeah, there were, weren't there?
Yeah, I ran into people that I hadn't seen in years. I didn't know that they were going to be there. I just flew down by myself and let it rip, and I encountered quite a few friends.
Let it rip's a good way to talk about New Orleans. New Orleans is just, to me, it's a great, New Orleans is my rule of it's a great 3-night town.
Yeah, yes, right.
New Orleans is a 3-night town. Vegas is a 4-night town.
Right.
That's the limit. Then you got to get back in the plane, you got to get home to Philly. 5 nights, not too much. That's too much.
Yeah.
You may get that tattoo you didn't want. You may get something might happen.
Yeah.
You may have wanted the tattoo. I've seen some of yours. Me on the other hand, I'm tattoo-less.
Yeah.
So that 5th night, though, I've avoided the 5th night.
Right. Okay.
So I haven't had
That's
that.
the rule.
That's the rule. 3 nights New Orleans. I told you I have a lot of rules. 3-night New Orleans is good. 4 nights, God knows, I may come back with a mohawk. And I don't want that. I don't want that.
I'd pay to see
it's
that.
not the Hangover.
Right.
It's not the Hangover. We're not going to have any of that.
Boy, well, you've lived quite a blessed life. You got to travel, do a lot of cool stuff. On a different note, I wanted to pivot and ask what it's been like to kick cancer's butt 3 times.
What I would tell you is that my mom used to say that, and my mom, Betty, gets invoked in our house like every day. Even after her death, she died in 2020, 91 years old, powerhouse, Delco, like a fantastic Delco broad that you would have loved. And she would have loved this place, and she would have, you and her would have been fast friends. But she used to say that whatever your greatest strength is in life was also your greatest weakness. And and I always sort of took that another step and would be like, cancer is probably the greatest curse that I've been dealt. 3 different times, 3 different ways, 3 different cancers. But in a way, it's the greatest blessing because I have learned so much about myself. I've managed to find strength that maybe you don't know you have. Mm-hmm. You find out in life who you can count on. You understand something that I don't think other people understand, is that I have on my profiles on social media, is my favorite word in the English language is joyous.
Joyous.
There is before I get on to 2:02 in the morning after heading out to work at 4:15, some ungodly hour, I've given my little morning offering, and my mom's rule was you never ask for anything. You don't ask for anything. You only say, "Thy will be done." Old school Catholic. Mm-hmm. Thy will be done. You can say what you're upset about. You can say what you need help with, but just say, "Thy will be done," but you don't ask for anything. And so, going through my last cancer was really bad, and you saw me some during it, and it was dicey and it was bad, and I just wasn't going to let that. I wasn't going to let it happen because my daughter was in college, and she'd come up here to go to her dad's alma mater. She had gotten one of the 25. Syracuse University is the top communication school in the country. My daughter had gotten one of the 25 Newhouse scholarships at Syracuse, and she turned it down because she wanted to go to Dad's alma mater. And I swear to God, she wanted to go to Dad's alma mater because she wanted to outdo Dad. And she did, graduating in 3 years valedictorian. She did outdo Dad. And I swear that's why she went. She wanted to, part of what she wanted to go with is she wanted to go to say, because she wanted to go and say, you know what? I'm going to go to your alma mater and I'm going to be better. And she's got that fire in her. And she's got that ferocity. She got that fight in her. But when I was petrified that I wasn't going to see her graduate. And that was one of my driving forces every day was, I got to see her graduate. And my wife was just the greatest support, Christina, and she was like the greatest support system, and my family and friends. But I just said, this isn't going to happen. I didn't come home to die. Mm-hmm. I didn't come home here to write the chapter of me coming home and having a tragedy and dying. I came home, it was going to have a different ending. And I just fought my way through it as best I could. And I had great doctors, the folks at CMOH, the consultants in medical oncology and hematology. I talk about them on my radio show. Dr. John Sprandio Jr. and Dr. Henry Schoon Young and Dr. Jack Colazzo, the three amigos, the 3 doctors that saved my life. And I thank God for all of them because when I wasn't strong, they had a plan. And my wife was there to prop me up. And it gives me this feeling that I wake up every day and just can't, my wife or other people go, you don't take anything seriously. And my answer is always, you take things way too seriously. Mm-hmm. Because I just can't I can't get stressed about stupid crap anymore.
Right.
Because when you stare down death, when you wake up and you just go, is this really going to end badly? Is this going to be the ending? Every day when you say every day is a blessing, it sounds like a cliche. It sounds like a Hallmark card. But in reality, you just say to yourself, it is such a blessing. And you look at every day differently from that point on. Nothing bothers you as much. My wife will hate me telling the story, but one day she came out and she had made me get a Mercedes.
Oh, darn.
Because I had a little, oh darn. No, but I'm cheap. I'm frugal. I didn't want to get, and I had this little Mercedes car, Matchbox. And we were married. And I was like, well, why do you have that? Because it's my goal. Someday I'm going to have that car. She goes, what? You could afford one now. Why wouldn't you get one? I'm not getting one. Yes, you are. You should get one. You've had cancer twice at the time. You're getting yourself one of them. Well, I got one. Well, this car was the magnet for bad luck. Little did I know my wife was going to be one of the bad lucks. So I came in late from doing a hockey game one night. I used to do radio and television for the hockey team in Atlanta at the time, the Thrashers. And I parked my car outside in the driveway. And she got up in the morning to take my daughter to school. And she said, my daughter goes, Daddy's car, Daddy's home. And she goes, yeah, you'll see Daddy after school. Daddy came home last night from the hockey game, but he came home from the road trip. He's home. So she's like, oh, good, Daddy's home. So she puts her in the car. She proceeds to just reverse full-blown right into the car. Caves in the whole side of the Mercedes. Caves it in. Both doors. Caves it in. Pushes it into the grass. She's hysterical. She's hysterical. Oh my God, I just destroyed the Mercedes. She's crying. She's all upset. The baby's upset. You know, the little girl's upset. And she's in her car seat and everything. She goes, oh, hey, thank you. So she comes in the house to get me. I'm sleeping in a guest room because I didn't want to wake her up at night. She comes and gets me. I put on a robe real fast and I come out of the house and I see the car up halfway in the grass. And I just start laughing. I just start laughing. I just laugh and I just give her a big hug and she's crying. My wife's crying, upset, and I'm laughing. Because it's a car. It's a car. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The insurance will fix it. It's a car.
Right.
And I told my daughter that. So I put on my robe and got in the car with my daughter and drove to school to calm her down and make sure Daddy's fine. Daddy's not upset. It's a car. And my daughter, she would throw that in my wife's face. Anytime my wife would get mad at me for anything, she'd like, oh, John, why'd you leave that glass on the table? Mom, remember when you hit it, you totaled his car? He didn't get mad at you. I had that in the back pocket for years. Oh, yes. I had that in the back pocket for years. That was like the ace you could just pull out of the sleeve and go at any time. But the idea being is that wasn't me before cancer.
Right.
That wasn't me before cancer. Before cancer, I would have freaked out. I would have been like, oh my gosh, honey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You weren't paying attention? I just came out and laughed.
Right.
That wasn't me before. That's the blessing that you get when you have perspective.
Right.
Hopefully you don't need something tragic like that to happen to you to have perspective in life.
Right.
You can get perspective from something else.
Right. That is beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's beautiful. It is beautiful because I wouldn't have been smart enough to learn it otherwise.
Right.
And maybe, not to get too deep, but maybe that's why it was sent my direction.
100%.
Is that I would not have been wise enough, smart enough, because I was chasing money and other things. I changed careers after I got the first cancer in 95, and I was still working part-time in media. Got the second cancer in 97, was still working part-time in media. And the doctor, after I was getting well, the doctor said, I said, well, what's my prognosis? And this doctor in Atlanta said to me, are your affairs in order?
Oh, okay.
He goes, it doesn't look good. Like that's not like for long-term prognosis, it's something's going on and everything like that. So I had been offered jobs in radio. I was making a ton more money and I said, well, I'm gonna quit and do radio because I'm gonna die. And that's why I chose to go do radio full-time, because I thought I was gonna die in 1999.
What?
And I quit. That's why I quit.
What?
I quit. I was making over $200,000, and I quit and took a $37,000 a year radio job because I thought I was going to die. Because this stupid doctor said, well, no stupid. This doctor told me this doesn't look good. Something's going on with your body. You know, this is not good. And I quit and chased radio.
That's awesome.
And it worked out. It worked out. All the money came back to me, and but it goes to show you though that is what my mom got to see me change careers. And when I told my mom that I was quitting my career, to go do the radio thing, she did what she always did. And she was just like, you always make good decisions. And I'm sure she hung up the phone going, what is he doing? But to me, it was, you always make good decisions. And I try to do that with my own kid, is that I try to channel my mom and go, resist the urge to be you. Resist the urge to because I have the urge to tell her what to do. Give her my advice. I'm wise. I have all this advice. I try to never give advice unless I'm asked, and I have to just zip it. And that's hard for me, as you know, as you can tell by this interview. I just zip it, and I just wait, and I wait but that type of thing, you just gotta let it play out, and it worked. And it got me to change careers. So the second cancer changed my career, changed the trajectory of my whole life.
That's amazing.
It's weird.
Wow.
It's weird how things happen.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come out here with me tonight. Take the time to join me at the table.
You kidding me?
Let me in a little bit. This has been really awesome. Can't wait to see what the rest of your career holds.
A lot of golf. Well, how about this? How about this? The final chapter's coming.
Yeah.
Because I have plans to have a future of a lot of golf, a lot of relaxation. I hope to see you weekday mornings more.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. And do one thing on your calendar for me though.
Okay.
Put on June 29th. You're going to see something that celebrates my cancer victory.
Can't wait.
I think I told you.
You did. June 29th.
June 29th. You'll see me on The Price is Right. And my
Let's
daughter made my shirt. And it's I beat cancer 3 times to get the price right. So Monday, June 29th, the episode will air. You get to see it. Can't tell you what happens, but I can tell you that I'm not allowed to tell you what happens, so that means something good happened.
Yeah, okay.
So I think it's part of that positive energy. Who knows?
Awesome.
Me and Drew on national TV, and much like sometimes in this interview, I sort of took over. So you'll see me with Drew. You'll see me with Drew. And Drew handled it well, just like you did, dude.
Thank you. Thank you, John. I
Great to see
really
you,
appreciate it, man.
Good to
God
see
bless
buddy.
you.
You too, man.